A cyber attack on an East Texas city's website, and authorities say it may have something to do with the death of a teenager. Waking up to danger. An East Texas family rushes to get out of this burning house.
Look at the middle of the screen here. See that black stuff? You can see the smoke from downtown Tyler. The fire was actually miles away. What burned up to cause this plume of smoke? And dream coming true, the big trip ahead for this child's mission.
Live in high definition, you're watching KLTV 7 News, your East Texas news leader.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. A shooting at inside the police station is believed to be a motive for a weekend cyber attack that shut down the city of Longview's website.
On social media, one of the alleged cyber attackers said they attacked Longview's site to send a message after Thursday night's shooting of 17-year-old Christiana Conyard by 3 Longview police officers. Conyard reportedly brandished a weapon and made threatening movements toward the officers when she was shot. Those officers are now on leave pending an investigation. City officials tell KLTV 7's Jamie Boyum that while the attack did shut down the site, they do not believe anyone's personal information was compromised.
Sean Hara, Community Relations for the City of Longview, and Longview Police Officer Christy Bryan say the city's website was overloaded early Sunday morning.
Yes, the website was down temporarily, but as far as we are aware, there's really been nothing else that was compromised.
The site was back up a short time later. Hara says, as far as they can tell, no accounts were compromised during the attack, and no one's account information was taken.
Security is always a concern for the police department, so we're always, try to be on our toes.
The Longview Police Department first noticed tweets posted by AnonSec 101. Wearing a Guy Fawkes mask, the person takes responsibility for the attack and posted a video on YouTube.
We ask you, the Longview Police Department, are you happy with the choice of actions taken by your officer?
AnonSec 101 is speaking about the shooting death of Christiana Conyard in the lobby of the Longview Police Department January 22nd and claims Longview police fueled the fire of an army of angry Americans.
Anytime there's a situation like this, there's time for some due diligence and heightened security, heightened awareness, and that's where we are at the moment.
The person claiming responsibility for the shutdown goes by Joseph Anonymous 1 on YouTube and AnonSec 101 on Twitter, where the person threatened to attack the Longview website again when, quote, "you least expect us," unquote. Jamie Boyum, KLTV 7 News.
On the Facebook page, Justice for Christiana Conyard Anonymous asked for a protest at the Longview Police Department to take place on February 7th.
As funeral arrangements are made for Christiana Conyard, family members say they've not heard much from DPS investigators or Longview police for that matter. KLTV 7's Skylar Gallup spoke with members of Christiana's family today. And Skylar, I understand her grandmother said they had been a bit worried about her.
Yeah, she did, Joe. Christiana had been living with her grandmother, Holly McGuire, in Longview. McGuire told me today that Christiana had been having some problems, but was getting help prior to Thursday's fatal shooting. Christiana's father lives in San Antonio. McGuire told me that her mother died when she was just 4 years old. Now, we know police have said Christiana entered that police station and asked for officers. McGuire told me she has no idea why Christiana would have been there. This is an ongoing investigation, and that's the reason we've been given by Longview police as to why they refused to release the surveillance video or the identity of the 3 officers placed on administrative leave after Thursday's shooting. We have filed formal requests with the department for that video and information. We're staying on this story, Joe, and we'll report any information made available to us as soon as that happens.
All right, thank you, Skylar. Today, preliminary autopsy results on Christina Conyard determined that she did die from gunshot wounds to her torso and her upper extremities. The Texas Rangers are still investigating this case. A fund has been set up to help an East Texas family who lost everything in a fire. The fire started around 3 o'clock this morning on North Henry Road, just off of Highway 69 in Lindale. Firefighters say it appears to have started near the back of the house, and the flames spread to the roof and inside the home. John and Mallory Terry and their 3 children were able to get outside the home unharmed, but the house is a total loss. If you'd like to help the family, we've set up a donation information on KLTV.com. Just go to our homepage and click on the big red box.
We have an update for you tonight. A robbery suspect shot and killed last night by a Tyler business owner has been identified. The deputies for Smith County found 24-year-old Cavassier Demetrius Butler of Tyler on the floor of the Mi Pueblo food store wearing a ski mask and gloves. Authorities say gunfire was exchanged between Butler and the business owner. The sheriff's office believes that there was a second person involved in the robbery attempt. No suspects yet in an early morning shooting that killed a Tyler man. 24-year-old
Tyrone Lee Underwood of Tyler was found shot inside a vehicle that had hit a telephone pole in the 400 block of West 24th Street. KLTV 7's Holly Gonzalez talked with the victim's friends today.
I feel unreal right now. I just feel like I'm in a movie. It's not true.
Those close to Tyrone Underwood are devastated he's gone.
It's not even just one thing I can say I'm gonna miss, because it's everything about him I miss. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I'm at in life. And that's just being belligerently honest.
Authorities say Underwood was in or near this car when he was shot early this morning.
They said that she had been shot 3 times and that her car, it like she was trying to get away.
Apparently after he was shot, he drove off, didn't go far, hit several curbs and knocked the mirror off.
The rim was busted and stuff like that, and they was asking me, did I know who could have done it at the moment? And I said no.
Friends say they can't imagine who would want to hurt him.
Because she's a fan favorite. Everybody likes Tyra.
I don't think no one would ever want to hate or hurt him. He was sweet. He was a caring person. You know, Ty was just really sweet.
I'm shocked. I am very shocked. I mean, nothing out of the 46 years we've been in this neighborhood, we've never had anything like this to happen.
He was he was very, very, very happy. And, I didn't even get to see my friend. I didn't even get a chance to see him.
In Tyler, Holly Gonzalez, KLTV 7 News.
Anyone with information on this crime should contact the Tyler Police Department.
A man was shot by sheriff's deputies after allegedly firing a shotgun at them. Henderson County Sheriff's officials say on Thursday, Stephen Ray confronted deputies who responded to a domestic disturbance call on Cherokee Shores Drive. Ray reportedly then fired the shotgun at one of the deputies, who returned fire, striking Ray. Right now, Stephen Ray is still at a Tyler hospital being treated for his injuries. He is in the Sheriff's Department custody and is charged with attempted capital murder. The officer who shot him is on paid leave. Folks around East Texas could see the smoke for miles.
Yeah, the $1 million damage at the end of this smoke trail. That's next on KLTV 7, your East Texas news leader.
And the weather around here has been absolutely beautiful today, and it should be for the next couple of days, but we're really going to concentrate on what's happening in the northeastern parts of the country. Our Grant Flannery Neighborhood WeatherNet site. This is it from Rodef Shalom School in New York City, New York. And you can see the snow fly in there today. As a matter of fact, there could be record snowfall totals coming out of this storm. We'll talk a little bit more in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Storm Tracker 7 Weather is sponsored by Susan Robinson Jewelry. Capture the moment. Capture forever.
Well, we showed you our Grant Flannery Neighborhood WeatherNet site at the beginning here, and it's really not looking too bad right now, but I mean, it just looks like a beautiful New York picture with a little bit of snow. But that is really all going to change as we progress throughout the next several days. Let's go ahead and look at what we're talking about here. This is the Storm Tracker Live Doppler radar out of the northeastern parts of the country. And you can see that there is a lot of snow. And all that dark pink, those are winter storm warnings. There's even blizzard warnings in effect for parts of New York all the way up the east coast of the United States. We're lucky here in the fact that, well, I wish that she was living in Tyler, but my daughter lives in Queens, New York, in Astoria. And as we kind of zoom in, we'll see pretty much where she lived. The snow has let up a little bit here over the last, say, hour or so. But as she was showing me pictorially here today, her day at 9:30 this morning Eastern time, not too bad, but at 2:20 in the afternoon, the snow really started to fall. And between 2:20 and 3:20, it certainly looked like a blizzard. You can barely see the subway bridge, the train bridge there in the distance. But as we kind of progressed into the evening hours, the snow has again tapered off. A lot of folks went out there and shoveled the snow, but a lot more snow is expected. And by the way, they're all watching from Queens. Hi, Papa says hello. I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope all goes well with this storm. Now, as far as amounts are concerned, again, this is Precision Cast kind of showing us what's expected. From New York City up just to the northeast to parts of Connecticut, we're looking for the possibility of 24 to 36 inches of snow. Folks, I'm 6 feet tall. That's half of me. That is a lot of snow. And if that indeed does happen, there's going to be some major issues going on in some of the major cities, Boston and New York, and even parts of New Jersey over the next several days. This is what it looks like outside here. I'm sure the folks in New York and Boston and all those places would like to see a pretty day like this, but the snow is falling. Storm Tracker Live Doppler radar is absolutely quiet out there right now. Temperatures ranging from, let's see, the cool spot in Atlanta up in Cass County at 55. We have 61 Tyler, 62 Longview, and 61 right now being reported in the city of Lufkin. Dorothy Penny in southern Russ County has 62 degrees, 61 at Holly Lake, also 62 at Hideaway, and also from Dan and Crockett. Tonight, 42 degrees. It's going to be clear. It's going to be a little on the cool side, though, but not too bad. Actually, a little bit above normal. And this is going to be well above normal. Tomorrow, 70 degrees. Sunshine, just a beautiful day is expected. Precision Cast, really, folks, over the next couple of days, it's going to be beautiful. On Thursday, we could begin to see a few high clouds making their way in, maybe even some lower clouds over parts of Deep East Texas as that front gets closer and closer. But until then, folks, it is going to be beautiful around here. So 48 at 10, 42 in the morning, 65, already 65 by noontime as those southerly winds do their thing. Actually, the light winds get about 70 tomorrow, and the southerly winds pump us up into the low 70s on Wednesday. Weak front on Thursday, so a high somewhere around 66 degrees, somewhere in the mid-60s anyway. Storm Tracker 7-day forecast, here it is. We've been talking about it now for about a week. This coming weekend still appears that we've got a better than 50-50 chance of seeing rain. Certainly cooling things off. We've had a good year with regards to rain. We're all well above normal. And this weekend, that may keep us that way. And you know what? That's all right. Let's go ahead and give away a Storm Tracker 7 Thunder Call phone to Ray Harrell of Henderson. Ray, congratulations. If you'd like to do the same, just go to KLTV.com, click on Win Stuff, and look for the Thunder Call link. Click on it, and please sign yourselves up. So just say hi to Eliana and Josiah and Maeve. They're watching from Queens, New York.
Hello, Queens.
Bundle up, stay inside.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, welcome. Mark. A travel ban is in effect on Connecticut highways ahead of tonight's winter storms. The National Weather Service has issued a blizzard warning for a 250-mile stretch of the Northeast, meaning heavy, blowing snow and possibly whiteout conditions. An estimated 50 million people, including some of Mark's family members, live in the storm's path. 5 East Texas departments responded to a fire that destroyed a furniture warehouse.
And the fire happened at a warehouse on County Road 496 near Lindale, but look at this. You can see the smoke here in downtown Tyler, about 10 miles away. You see it kind of running across the street there. KLTV7's Julia Janae was at the warehouse where investigators say there were no fire extinguishers or smoke alarms.
Around 11:30 this morning, the Lindale Fire Department responded to a call, a building in flames. Across the street, Ramiro Cabedo heard the explosion while he was in a tree cutting limbs.
So, and then it was all flaming on the inside, and then the fire department came in and they were shoveling water through that one hose, water hose through that one door, and it just kept on getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then the roof it collapsed, and then it just came bigger and bigger, and then big old cloud up to the sky. And
the fire engulfed the building, burning for over an hour. Multiple fire departments from across East Texas responded.
Called in several mutual aid response units from around the county to come help us out. The fire reached through the whole building and collapsed the walls and the ceiling onto the fire itself.
Around 1:30, firefighters had the blaze under control, but small controlled fires continued to burn into the afternoon. Fire Marshal Jay Brooks says that no smoke detectors or fire extinguishers were installed in the building.
It is under control. However, it's going to be a significant hazard for us. Obviously, we've had one brick wall failure in the east side of the building, and we still have buckling in the wall here on this side. So we're trying to figure out how we're going to secure the area to maintain safety for those around the building.
Brooks says there were workers present when the fire broke out, but only one minor burn injury was reported. Julia Janae, KLTV 7 News.
Brooks tells us there was no insurance on the building, which was estimated to be worth close to $1.2 million, including the contents inside. The building operators did not have the electricity turned on and were using generators for their day-to-day work.
Door-to-door fraud. The scam an East Texas mother is accused of pulling with a child in tow. Coming up.
And drone down, the crash that put the White House on alert. That's coming up on KLTV 7, your East Texas news leader.
Undercall is sponsored by Ultra Federal Credit Union, serving our communities for 80 years.
Look at this. It kind of looks like a toy, doesn't it? But it caused a lockdown at the White House. Early this morning, Secret Service agents found the crashed drone on the White House grounds. The drone's operator called the Secret Service to explain what had happened. Officials believe the drone was being flown as a hobby and was not terrorism related. The president and the First Lady were not at the White House at the time. A civil trial is beginning for 17 people who were injured or lost family members when a freight train struck a parade float in Midland. The lawsuit involves people who did not reach a settlement this month with Union Pacific Railroad. 4 people died in the 2012 accident that a federal investigation blamed on city and parade organizers.
An East Texas mother is facing charges for allegedly raising money for a bogus school fundraiser. 30-year-old Lacey Jean Wardell of Lufkin is awaiting extradition to Waco. Police say on January 5th, Wardell went door to door with the 5-year-old child, claiming to be collecting money for a school fundraiser. However, Waco ISD told police no such fundraiser was going on. Lacey Wardell is charged with felony exploitation of a child. Texas says 2 more states have joined its coalition suing over the Obama administration's executive action on immigration. New Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton announced today that Nevada and Tennessee have officially become part of the coalition of 26 states fighting the order in a federal court in Brownsville. The president's unilateral move is designed to spare millions of people living illegally in the United States from deportation. The lawsuit accuses the White House of trampling the Constitution. Her work to thank police officers has gone from East Texas to across the state.
And now Savannah's mission is going even further. That's next on KLTV 7, your East Texas news leader.
Tonight at 10, a closer look at the blizzard bearing down on the East Coast, how it's affecting residents and why it's being called historic. Tonight on KLTV 7 News at 10, the Storm Tracker 7 dual polarization Doppler radar, only on KLTV. From your neighborhood to East Texas courtrooms, wherever breaking news happens, turn to 7 on Scene. A live stream of information as it happens before you catch the complete story on KLTV 7 News. It's part of our commitment to be your East Texas news leader.
A 10-year-old East Texan's dream to visit police officers in New York became a reality this morning.
Savannah Solis spent her Christmas break last month making more than 500 handmade thank you cards for law enforcement in East Texas and in New York. Over the past 4 weeks, she has visited more than 20 police stations in Texas to personally deliver the cards and collect autographs from each officer. Today, the Cops for Cops organization presented Savannah with an all-expense-paid trip to New York and an opportunity to meet the officers she has been sending thank you cards to.
Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Way to go, girl. Thanks for watching. Stay right here for KLTV 7 News at 10.
Until then, and we know you're going to join us for that, but until then, KLTV.com. Have a good night.
Good night.
Let the news follow you. From exclusive web content to text and email alerts, get your news wherever you are.
The movie American Sniper was released recently, and not surprisingly, it had a polarizing effect for some across the nation. Now, the movie's been a box office success, so it's hard to argue with it financially, but there have been critics of the movie, and that's understandable. One liberal critic has gone farther than just criticizing a movie, and that critic is director Michael Moore. Moore tweeted that, in his opinion, snipers are cowards. Snipers are not heroes. Now, in defense of Moore, he clarified his comments later, saying that he was referring to the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. by an assassin, but I don't think the redirection by Moore will work. It's clear he was referring to the movie initially. Michael Moore is not a patriot, nor is he a constructive force in America. He only knows how to get attention through divisive means. Now, it's okay to have a different opinion on subject matter, but Moore has a track record of insulting much of what our country does. And granted, our military has some challenging life and death in the balance jobs, but they also do much good in keeping the peace and lessening flashpoints. Moore knows nothing of or chooses to ignore that experience. He makes movies and other projects that criticize and inflame, tear down and destroy, and his work makes America weaker. Michael Moore can have his opinion, but he needs to learn that the platform of freedom of speech that he regularly uses was provided by those he is criticizing.